Hail, Munchkin. Well, I was left with the Baldy, who was a little bit annoying and not very attractive. Just let me get in character, darling. They greeted us with 2 kisses, and it was very formal and a little bit awkward to start with, but luckily the bald friend was a bit chatty, so he broke the ice for us. Those 2 men, non-drinkers, only had a fruit juice. We had our next drink, and we were quite literally giggling like a couple of schoolgirls. We talked small talk for some time. We seemed bored. It was difficult. Then I went out for a cigarette with Matteo while Sarah stayed inside with Marco. Outside, Matteo was quite chatty and seemed an amiable, friendly kind of guy. When we came back, Sarah and Marco seemed a little bit depressed and serious, but that's only because Marco was a little shy. We continued to talk and ordered a couple more drinks. The night was going well. Then we decided soon we wanted to go to a disco, but they didn't like dancing, so we had to go to the next bar. So we went to the next bar, which is a more kind of like an Englishy pub. It was quite nice. We've been there before. It was quite nice. We ordered some more drinks. I sat at the bar with Matteo while Sarah huddled in a cosy little corner with Marco smooth-talking him for the evening. Every now and again I'd turn around and give her a wry smile just to say, I bet I know what you're thinking, boring bastard. I was quite happily munching on a glass cup of peanuts while I was drinking my Red Bull and vodka pesca. Sarah drank the same, while their friends drank fruit juice again. Now, the night dwindled on, and not much else happened really of interest until the snoggage. I was outside snogging Matteo, who seemed alright, and after 10 drinks, seemed quite handsome. While Sarah was inside still talking to Marco, and then finally it happened, and they kissed, and it was like something out of a film. I swear for one moment I saw some little birds fly by, and heard some champagne corks popping. Everyone in the bar was staring, however, which we didn't quite understand. Was it because we were drunk, or was it because we were snogging? We'll never know the answer to that question. Ooh, got ash on you. So, the night was drawing to a close, and it was time to leave. We'd had a few drinks. We'd been to the loo a couple of times and had a giggle. We'd had fun. I went with Matteo, Sarah went with Marco. Matteo seemed quite amorous and rather passionate, but I was a little distracted because all I could think about was someone else, and I think it was the same for Sarah. Although luckily for me, Matteo did not have a small willy. I at least kissed and caressed with some passion and experience. He bought me a pack of Marlboro from the cigarette machines, which I thought was a nice touch to end the evening. And he had a car which was a little bit okay, but I don't really know anything about cars, so I can't really say if it was okay. Anyway, when we re-met with Sarah, she said that Marco was, well, he could have been better, and he left a lot to be desired for. He was not a good kisser, and he was too soft and girly. At one point, I believe she said he was almost crying with joy at the thought that he could finally found his true love. He has no money, he doesn't drink, he only wants to watch films in houses and maybe make love. Oh, not very interesting. The dilemma Sarah was left with was how to break this news to him, but not destroy him completely by telling him he had a small dick. Well, that's a question we're still pondering. I said goodbye to Matteo, thinking I never wanted to see you again. I had fun, well, that was all it was. Trapping off is a bit samey now, and I think we're looking for something a bit more. We got in the car and had a giggle, and then we got into bed together after a sexy pillow fight. And munching on some crisps and comparing notes, we settled off to sleep. We decided that maybe we'd done the wrong thing, but we didn't have sex with them, so we weren't complete whores. What else happened that night, Sarah? Please, I'm struggling to remember. Nothing.
It was those nice texts in the morning.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you sent a message to you.
Oh, yes. While in bed, I was asking Sarah about Dane Hopkins, my secret love crush. Who I've been in love with since the moment I first laid eyes on him. Tall, athletic, auburn locks like Mel Gibson. I honestly had never seen a man quite like it. So I asked Sarah if he'd tracked off that evening. And knowing he hadn't, I thought, oh well, it's time I put my cards on the table. So I sent him a little love message with lots of kisses and hearts. So cut a long story short, I told him that I wanted to make love to him in PVC and that I just think he's fabulous. Then, when we awoke in the morning, we had 2 messages from Dane Hopkins, and they were quite funny, and we had a good old giggle. He was obviously quite drunk, and he had spoken to us in a new language neither of us had ever heard of. At first it sounded a bit African, but now I'm not sure what it was, but I can safely say it was funny. We then messaged each other as a threesome for a little while, and then we set out for today's adventure.